So for those who don't know, the Las Vegas Aces most recently had a poor performance against the Dallas Wing, in which they lost by a score of 90 to 93. As you guys know, Dallas Wings have one of the worst records in the WNBA. Have an 8-22 record. However, that is because they have been riddled with injuries. One of their best players, if not debatably their best player, Satu Sabali, has missed the majority of the season due to a shoulder injury. And seeing Dallas beat Vegas with the roster they have now, however, coupled with the record they have, it can cause a bit of confusion for the average fan. But with the addition of Satu Sabali, Dallas is a formidable team. We have to remember that Dallas made it to the semifinals last year in the WNBA playoffs and lost to these Las Vegas Aces. And Dallas has not been a team that's been healthy, and they're just now getting their full roster. And playing against Dallas is not going to be as easy as it was earlier in the season. And with this most recent loss for Vegas, I can understand why there is some cause for concern. They lose to Minnesota on Sunday, and they have on Saturday. Then they have a nail biter performance against Chicago, and they come around yesterday and they lose to Dallas. But Minnesota is playing in Minnesota it's not an easy place to play for any team. Listen, Minnesota has the best record in the WNBA. They have who I believe is going to be the MVP in the Fisa Collier. And then if you're Vegas, then you follow that up with the game against Chicago. Chicago's a very young team, very feisty, very active on the defensive end, though they are inconsistent. And then you follow that up with the game against Dallas. And like I said, with the addition of Satu Sabali, Dallas is just at full strength, though they have they don't have the best record. They're finally back at full capacity with their roster, and now they'll be able to get to the level of play that many scouts, many GMs thought that they would be at going into the season. So, people are questioning whether there's cause for concern for Las Vegas. They are 18-12 on the season, 9-5 on the road, and do they still have a championship hangover? Not just from last season, but from the previous two seasons. We have to remember that Vegas is already back-to-back WNBA champions, and this season they're going for a three-peat, which has not been done, if I'm not mistaken, ever in the history of the WNBA. So something that comes with being a champion is that you are always going to get the other team's best performance every single night, and that level of physicality, that emotional toll, can be taxing for a team. You're dealing with that day in and day out. That's what makes it difficult. That's the difficult part of repeating as a champion. That's something that most people don't understand. And that level of intensity, that physicality over the course of the season then makes it difficult to perform in the playoffs. But those great teams, those generational teams, that's what separates them from teams that are only capable of winning one championship. And this is constant across all sports, not just the WNBA, but also in the NBA and in baseball and in hockey and in the NFL as well. There's that level of pressure to win, as a champion, and there's that heightened intensity that you're going to get from your opponent day in and day out. And that's just what Vegas has been dealing with all year. And also losing or not having Chelsea Gray for a majority of the season, their starting point guard, has not helped that at all. But Chelsea Gray is back. She's getting back into her rhythm, and it takes time to build this cohesiveness, to build this chemistry. and to get to a new level that Vegas is looking to. Now, from just thinking long term, thinking going to next season, I do think that Vegas is going to add. They're going to need to add some more depth to their bench. That was something they struggled with last year. Was their bench? They're not having a lot of depth on the bench, but it's because they're so top heavy. I mean, they have 4 of the top 15 players in the WNBA on the roster. You know, Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young and obviously Ajawilson and Chelsea Gray. And we're talking about 4 of the 15 best players in the WNBA, and all of them are Olympians at that. And so that's where Vegas would struggle And, you know, if we look at the game last night against Dallas, listen, Ajawilson had 42 points. Chelsea Gray had 15 points. Kelsey Plum had 8 points. Jackie Young had 17 points. But if you look at the bench, you know, Alicia Clark has 5 points, and Tiffany Hayes has 3 points. So that's 8 points you're getting off the bench. That's only 8 points you're getting off the bench if you're Vegas. So, you know, that's just what Vegas is going to struggle with. But they've known that. They knew that would be one of the issues they would have is their lack of depth. They knew that going into the season. And, you know, if we look at Dallas, listen, Tasha Howard had 24 points. Satu Sabli, like I said, who I believe is one of the best players. I believe when healthy, Satu is a top 5 player in the WNBA. She had 28 points. Tiffany McCowan had 8 points. Rika Gumbawali had 20 points. So, listen, we have to remember that the Dallas is a talented team when healthy. It's just that they haven't been healthy all year. And, listen, Vegas had a tough stretch over these past 3 games. I don't believe there's cause for concern with them. You know, this is just part of the championship run, the championship adversity that you have to go through. So I don't think much of it. I don't think there's cause for concern. As I said earlier in the week, I believe Vegas already had their championship moment with that win against Chicago. Now, even if you have a championship moment, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have hiccups afterwards, but it just means that's where you start to turn the season around. And I believe that's what it was in Vegas. I believe they had their championship moment on Sunday, and they just ran up against a young, finally healthy Dallas team last night. But, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys think that there's legitimate cause for concern in Vegas? Or is it what I believe it is, which is just they're in the middle of a tough part of their schedule, and that's really what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But with that being said, guys, that is it for our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a wonderful show. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, so you guys can stay up to date on all related content that we post daily. And if you'd like to support our network and our company, you can do so by following the link in the ticker below. It's streamelements.com/StarterBodyShow/tip. None of this is possible as you guys are fans. So grateful and honored for all of the love and support that you show us. And we'll be back again, guys, same time tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, continue to stay safe, be vigilant, make smart decisions, and peace.